What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be talking about the most overpowered players that you can buy at every position in NBA 2K21 on MyTEAM. So we are only going to be looking at primary position, and I'm gonna try split it between both gens. But if there is a player, for example, that would be in and on one gen, not on another gen, I will make that like an honorable mention. I will come up with my list, which is like the most overpowered each position, followed by the second most overpowered. And these are only cards that you can buy. No grindable cards. You can either buy them or you can lock in for these cards. There's actually even almost no lock-in rewards, so there is no lock-in rewards in this. So heads up, Hondo's not going to be on it, and he has been on a lot of them. But anyway, before we get on to it, if you guys have not already, subscribe to the Mick channel, lads. So, I will leave a link in the description, but basically, I've started a new podcast myself and Xdale, and obviously one of the episodes is on this channel. Let's see if we can hit by the end of this weekend if we can hit 6,000 subs. So obviously we have some clips from our podcast last week with Ambush. If you have not watched that, isn't it here where he talks about things like the Jeremy Lin situation. Obviously this channel was previously a FIFA channel, but and yeah, today's podcast is just myself and Dale. We talk about obviously mostly about 2K, about a lot of the out of position players, and then some things that are going on outside of 2K, where Super Leeds went and beat Man City today. What a win! As well as a little bit on the old WrestleMania card that is well, on WrestleMania, which is happening this weekend. But yeah, so anyway, now we are going to get onto it. So first is the point guard position. And we're only going to be looking at primary positions, so just a heads up, the small forward position sucks. But for me, there's an obvious most overpowered point guard, and it's Grant Hill. And it doesn't matter what gen you are on, I think it's Grant Hill. Because you can put gold blinders Grant Hill, I'm telling you, it belongs as the best. Grant Hill is incredible. And then at that second spot, it's a really tough one. Because there's Magic, who's pretty good. But for me, I personally think Weber's better than Magic. I think there's just something about Weber on both gens, and he can run faster. I think he's that little bit better than Magic. Then obviously Kobe's in that conversation, especially on current gen. Especially on current gen, Kobe Bryant is in that conversation. But I'm gonna go Luka. Not even on this page. I'm gonna go between both gens. I'm gonna go Luka Doncic. And I think Luka very, very slightly over Kobe or Weber. Like the Kobe versus Weber one is weird. Kobe's better on current gen, Weber's better on next gen. And I just think Luka's is better than both of them on next. And I think Luka's probably the closest on current gen. So obviously with Grant Hill, he's the best. Like straight up, Grant Hill he's just simply the best. Like he's better than all the rest. Like look at these stats. Like 3,176 stats. I think Kobe's probably similar, is he? Kobe's 3,093. So like he's like 80 less total, or 80 more total stats than Kobe. He's taller, has the same wingspan. He's also, in my opinion, got a very, very similar level release. Kobe on quick is very similar to Grant Hill on very quick. But 96 lateral quickness, half range extender on him. He can curry slide on both gens. He's got the best behind the back in the game. He's got insane defensive animations as well. He's also got obviously range clamps, just ridiculous amount of badges. He's fantastic. And the thing with Luka Doncic is, for me, Luka is he's just the best shooter on next gen in the game. Like he's got Showtime Hall of Fame. Like he's got all the key badges except Clamps Hall of Fame. But you're not going to really put him on the other team's primary ball handler if you're on current gen. And he's got 80 on-ball steal tendency, which isn't great. Like his defense isn't great, and Kobe's defense is pretty solid. But 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 3 ball, 3,068 total stats. Like if you compare, obviously he's got only 26 hops, nothing compared to Kobe's 15 less. But like very, very similar in terms of total stats to Kobe. 90 driving dunk, 94 lateral quickness. Like so, like stats, like attributes wise, they're basically the same. Badges wise, Kobe's better. But I personally think that while Pro 3 is better than Pro 1, I think XM based on quick is a lot better than Kobe based on quick. And I don't know, I've just had more success using Doncic, and I also fear Doncic more. Like if I play against If I play against Kobe, I played against him quite a few times at point guard. I'm not worried. I'm a lot more worried about Doncic. Maybe this is on next gen. Doncic is way better on next gen. On current gen, Kobe's probably better, but I'm gonna stick with Doncic. I'm gonna stick with Luka as primary point guards. I'm gonna stick with Luka and Grant Hill as my 2. So, well, and these are only purchasable ones. I would personally put Pete Maravich in instead of Luka if overall point guards were there, and J.R. Smith, but most people don't have him. Now we're on to the primary 2 guards right here. And we zoomed in too far. So, the primary 2 guards, we got a lot of opals. We got some decent pink diamonds. But for cards that you can buy, and we are on page 2. For cards you can buy, there is one, like, there are 2 very, very obvious players, is 1 and 2. Like, I'm putting a weird number 3 in because it's Tracy McGrady and DeMar DeRozan, but they're the same card. Like, Tracy McGrady and DeRozan, they're basically the same card. One of them just doesn't have blinders / steady, and the other one has Hall of Fame. Like, T-Mac has got Hall of Fame blinders, whereas DeRozan doesn't. Other than that, they're basically the same card. So I don't want to put T-Mac and DeRozan in, but it is just heads up, it is T-Mac and DeRozan. It is T-Mac. DeRozan is number 2, but from playing next gen, like, I've been playing this game, this guy drops 50 on people on the regular in unlimited. Like, I'm playing against some of the best cards in the game. I'm playing against the T-Max and DeRozans of the world. This, I don't think I can do it in good conscience. And you guys know who I'm considering putting in. I'm putting in Messi. I'm thinking about putting in Messi. Because it is, like, number 2 is DeRozan. Just straight up, it is DeRozan. Like, I'm looking at these guys right here. So, DeRozan is in here. If you're talking next gen, this guy belongs. This guy belongs here on next gen. He's unbelievable. I don't even mean just unbelievable price. He's my best player by a mile, and I've got a squad. Like, I've got a squad. I got a lot of great 2 guys. He's my best, and it's not even close. But stop everything going crazy. Let's have T-Mac and Mini T-Mac as the 2 best. Then we have got the small forward primary. This position sucks. It absolutely sucks. Like, Wiggins is the best you can buy. Between both gens, not even this Wiggins. Obviously the better Wiggins. Between both gens is this Wiggins. And number 2, I mean, I'm putting in the best. I'm putting in the best small forward on next gen. Shrimp. SCH, isn't it? Detlef Schrempf. Like, Detlef Schrempf is pretty good on next gen. He's not like this game changer. But like 88 speed, it's possible. Definitely possible. But he's got half blinders. He's got mediocre defense. 89 lateral quickness. He's got pretty decent length. And he's also got the Curry slide, the quick dribble style, and Gallo base. He is by far. Like, it's not even close. He's the best by a country mile if you are looking at small forwards on next gen. And then Andrew Wiggins, between both of them, he's probably number like 2 on next gen, probably the best on current gen. Like, half showtime, gold range. Is he as good as Lionel Simmons? No. Is he as good as Malik Sealy? Maybe a little bit better. He's buying average. Like, he's meh. He's fine. Nothing wrong with him. Like, he is an objectively fine player. He's an objectively fine player. But, like, this position sucks. It absolutely sucks. Now we are on to the power forwards. So the power forwards, these guys right here. I'm going to say my number 1 overall is Danny Ferry. But not my number 1 you can buy is Andrei Kirilenko. I'm a huge fan of Andrei Kirilenko. And then the number 2. Like, I was looking through a lot of these and was like, are there any great power forwards? Like, I like Duma and stuff, but I mean, there's an obvious one. There is an obvious one. And Kevin Durant, I'm telling you, Kevin Durant is a close one. So is Zion Williamson. But for me personally, It's Paul George. It's Paul George. Like, if you want to put Zion in there or Kevin Durant, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. But for me, AK, I'm a huge fan of AK. I know some people don't like him. I think that base 98 and quick is so nice. His dribbling's not great, but at that power forward position, it's exceptional. Like, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 94 3 ball. Unbelievable defense. Half range. He's got half steady shooter, half quick first step, half clamps. He's also got base 98 on quick. Obviously, that's the biggest thing about him, but he's just an unbelievable 3-and-D player. Paul George, he's got that curry slide. He can curry on both ends, which is quite big. He's also got the PG base on quick, which is really good. Although Duma has shown PG on very quick is unbelievable. Profile behind the back for current gen. He's got unbelievable stats, like great lateral quickness, good rebounding, good, like, unbelievable defensive badges. He's also got range extender, tight handles, all the goal badges you need, half showtime. But there very much is an honorable mention for this one right here. There's an honorable mention, and it's this card right here, and I don't care what anyone says. LaMelo Ball. He's better than, for me, he's better than Wes. Like, look at these stats. He's got 3,056 total stats. He's got clamps, interceptor, intimidator. He's also got, like, floor general, handles for days. He's only got gold showtime. Yeah, but, like, let's compare him to Paul George stats-wise. Oh my god, I'm really struggling to spell the name George. But, like, let's compare him to Paul George stats-wise. LaMelo has 18 better total stats. I get it, a lot of them are passing vision. I'm not going to say he's better than Paul George. He's at 18 better total stats. He's got a better release than Paul George. He's only got 3 less Hall of Fame badges and 1 extra gold badge. Like, both of them have clamps. In terms of, you got more shooting badges than Paul George. Flexible is quite a big badge. I can't lie. Flexible is quite a big badge if you're not able to green. But, like, I don't think, like, you can even see it stats and badges wise. LaMelo's not that much worse than Paul George. He's not as good as PG. I'm not going to say he's as good. He's 2 inches shorter and in shorter wingspan. He's not as good, and he's a little bit undersized. If he was a small forward, power forward, and you could play this guy at small forward, you'd be seeing so many guys around him in their best teams. I think LaMelo also has better handle, better release, better behind the back than Paul George. I think LaMelo Ball is in that conversation. He is he's the best value card in the game for triple threat. There's no doubt about that. He is so underrated. He's so good. And my god, when we get a point guard LaMelo Ball, I am telling you that card is ridiculous. I'm telling you that card's going to be ridiculous. But now we're on to the center position. And it's a tough one because there's Kareem Wilt. I think that's kind of the obvious choice that 99% of people go with. But for me, it's one of these two. And then there's Giannis. Like, this position is so tough because there's Kareem, Wilt, Giannis, and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant would be in my 2 guard. Like, if we could go secondary positions, you know what? I'm going to put in an exception. Because DeRozan and T-Mac are the same card, I'm actually just going to go with a... Actually, no, that means I can't do it. I can't do it. We've always done primary. For 3 years, since 2K19, we've done this as primary positions. This is where we make our tough decision. I'm going to say Wilt. And this is where, do I pick Kareem or Giannis? Like, if we're looking at the center position, I'm taking Kareem, but Giannis might be a better card because of versatility. Oh my god, I'm going to say... I'm going to put one of the dominant forces, and even though if we're making a lineup... Giannis, Kareem... Okay, I'm going to literally 2 hands. I'm going to push in. I'm going to literally 2 hands, spam my keyboard, whichever letter J or K or G or K comes in first, I'm going to pick. Because I'm that close. No, neither of them. Neither of them. How? I'm literally smashed. G. We see all G. We almost spelled Yu-Gi-Oh! Or we spelled Yogi. But the G is the first letter we've seen. So, Giannis. By process of smashing my keyboard in the position where my fingers were rough, I smashed between like crossways, so that it could have been any of them, and it came out as G first. So Giannis is in. Kareem or Wilt, I think, is the slight edge over Kareem, especially on next gen. If you can get his release down, Wilt over Kareem. But Kareem has the sky hook, so the post hook is very, very OP on current gen. But Wilt again, 90, like 3-2-1-3 total stats. Dude's 7'1" with 8'1", 8-foot wingspan. Set shot 70 and a very quick, solid-ish shooter. Good, really good behind the back, the best in the game. And then you got Kareem, doesn't quite have the behind the back. Not as good on next gen as Wilt Chamberlain, but just a very, very solid card. And for me, maybe better on current gen. But then we have got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis, again, 3-1-4-9 total stats, plus 90 and everything. Only 85 3-ball, though. Goal range center, but he's a better shooter than Wilt. He's got a way better release than Wilt. And just an overall unbelievable card. Pro 2 or normal 2 behind the back. Dunks on everybody and is a little more versatility with a secondary position. So yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. That is the video. Obviously, the small forward position looks very much off. If you, like, we always do this list, like this specific list is always made based on primary positions. So if you want to just scrap that position and move these two guys down one position, if you want to then go and put, I don't know, Giannis in a power forward, LaMelo in a power forward, and then Wilt and Kareem at the centers, and then Kevin Durant in at the 2, if you want, like if you're trying to make the most OP. But at the top 2 in their positions, none of those guys made that list. And surprisingly enough, because we're doing primary positions, we have Andrew Wiggins and Detlef Schrempf, but we do not have Kareem. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.